Once you complete the orientation, then you are going to work on Module 1, which is also due the first week of class. I did do a little video on how to use the ebook and register your Cengage Unlimited subscription. So hopefully the registration process is the same because I no longer have to register mine. So hopefully that'll all work the same way for you guys. You can use the book for a couple of weeks without registering, but eventually you do have to register. So you do need that subscription code. To get into the ebook, all you have to do is click on the link and it will take you directly into the ebook. Let me see, here it is. And if you click on this, it takes you kind of to the beginning of the chapter. And the chapters are interactive. So you'll notice right below the link to the ebook chapter, I have the starter files. These files are in a zipped folder that you have to decompress in order to use the files. And I have a video explaining how to decompress the files if you are not familiar with that. And so once you start working through this, the book is actually really good. It will define all the terms for you if you're not familiar with it. There are interactive steps, and here it tells you the file that you need to access. So this is the file that you have downloaded in that zipped folder. The zip folder actually has 5 different files in it. So it's telling you to open up this one. Okay, and then you kind of follow the steps and work along with the book. Okay, and then you can go to the next section. So you'll notice that it is a really good book. Quite often there are embedded videos that you can watch that will show you how to do things. You can go backward or forward in the book. Okay, and so the beginning of each week typically involves a textbook chapter that you need to work through. Then you're going to do the testing exercises. These are hands-on exercises where you have to complete the various tasks. It is timed, okay, and you are allowed 3 attempts at each task. And then if you don't get the task correct, it just moves on to the following task. So if you're working on task 10, didn't get that right, it moves on to task 11. So if you've gone through the chapter and you think, you know, I know how to do this, this is pretty easy, I would go directly into the testing. If we're in a chapter that's more difficult, then you may choose to do the training. The training is not graded and it is optional. The testing is graded. Okay, so the training is designed for you to practice. So with the training, you're going to hit launch all, and you're going to see a little window similar to this. Okay, it tells you how many tasks there are. The training and the testing are the exact same. So if you come into the training and you breeze through this, go right into the testing because you're going to breeze through that. Okay. But if you come into the training and you are automatically going to be in apply mode, which is very similar to the testing exercise, where it tells you what you need to do. Okay. And then if you're not sure of how to do it, and you are in training, you can either go into observe or practice. So observe, basically you play it and it shows you. Practice kind of tells you what to do, and then it waits for you to do it. Okay. Apply is just like testing mode, where it just shows you the instruction and you are expected to do it. Okay, and it will not typically move on unless you kind of force it to here. Okay, and you can submit when you're done, but this training is not graded. So, it doesn't matter if you skip over tasks. Okay, you can just kind of complete what you're unsure of, and then go into observer practice to learn how to do it. You don't even have to really submit when you're done. You could just exit out of here because it's not graded. So it doesn't really matter how you exit out as long as you know how to do the task. Because then when you go into testing, you should not have any problem completing the required tasks. And testing is graded. And I have to pause this for a minute because I do not have a student account. So I have to come in as an instructor. Okay, so as an instructor, I'm coming in, but you guys should see the exact same thing. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and launch all. And you can see that basically what it does is it puts you into apply mode. There is no observe, there is no practice, and you get 3 attempts at each task. Okay, that is how it is designed. So you'll read the instructions down here. And I will show you what happens if you get it wrong. So in D14, create a formula using the min function to calculate the minimum value in that range. So I'm going to select the cell, but instead of min, I'm going to do max. And then I'll put in the correct range. So now it tells me I did it wrong. I get 3 shots at this. So I'm going to retry it. All right, so I did the wrong functions and now I'm going to do it correctly. And it says I'm right, so it's going to advance me to the next task. So for each one, you get 3 tries. And you can advance without retrying. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that. Clear the contents of B8. Let me see if I can do this one wrong. B8. So why don't I do C8 by mistake? Let's see what it does. All right. So it said I was incorrect. So I can retry this, or I can choose to go on to the next task. If I go to the next task, I am going to get this wrong, and it is going to subtract points from this exercise. So I would retry because you guys want as many points as possible in this course. If you retry 3 times, it'll automatically advance to the next task and you will lose points. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. Make sure you submit when you're done. And each one of these Cengage exercises has its own little number of points. But when that point is brought into Moodle, I've set up all of the testing exercises to be worth 25 points. So the score is going to be adjusted. So, if this testing exercise had 100 points or whatever it had in Cengage, what you are going to see is a maximum of 25 points here in Moodle. Okay, and that is explained, I believe, in the syllabus. But if anybody is confused about that, let me know. It's just easier in a class if we can control the points and then we can assign, whatever point value we think is reasonable to the different exercises. Okay, so all of the testing exercises are worth 25 points. The projects are worth a variable number of points depending on their difficulty level. Some are worth more points than others. So you might see one worth 20 points at the beginning of the semester, but then later on in the semester, when we get into more difficult projects, you may see a project worth 40 points. Okay, and again, the score from Cengage is converted into the Moodle score. When you click on the link, you will see 2 files to download. Because I am an instructor, I have a 3rd solution file, and this is the correct answers. So you guys aren't going to see that. You are going to see the instructions, and you're also going to see a starter file. So you're going to want to download those 2 things. Okay, follow the instructions, and then you will submit this to Cengage, and they will correct it right on the spot. So you will know how you did. If you do not get all of the points, okay, you can fix it and resubmit it. And you can resubmit up to 10 times. Okay, so after you resubmit a few times, you should make sure that you look at what you did wrong and that you correct it. Because if you don't change anything and you resubmit it, you're going to get the same score. Okay, so make sure you fix whatever they said was wrong. And if you don't understand what was wrong, then you can contact me, because as you can see, I have access to the answer key. It's been my experience that when students don't know what they got wrong, it's because they missed a step. So there's, maybe a series of 10 different steps. And if you miss step 4, that kind of throws the whole thing off. So that's typically what happened. Now, you'll also notice that there's an extra credit project. So it's very similar to the project that is for full credit. So if you like doing the hands-on, go ahead and go into the extra credit, because you will see that it's basically the similar format where there's instructions that you download, there's a starter file, and then you upload from there. Finally, the last thing that you need to complete in this first module is a discussion exercise. And so this is just doing a little research to see how Excel is used in your field of study. So whatever your field might be, you can Google that. So if I wanted to see Excel use in graphic design or something like that, okay, I could find, great tools for designers. Okay, so I might look at something like this, read through it, click on the link, press Control and the letter C for copy, come over here, add a new discussion topic, Excel use in graphic design. And then I would put the link in here. And to paste the link, it is Control and the letter V as in Victor. Okay. And then I would go ahead and summarize the article and then post that to the forum. And then once you have posted, you need to read postings that your classmates put up and then reply to at least 2 of them. Okay, so that is the last thing that you need to complete in this first module. If you run into problems or if you have any questions at all, please let me know, and have a great week.